Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name's Ray, the Market Trader. And before we begin here, guys, we'll need to take a look at our risk disclosure. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So just want to remind everyone that content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. We all understand that the use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and this company's partners, representatives, agents, employees, contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Future trading does carry a fair amount of risk and is not for every investor. Investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security should be used, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Okay, again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, option, or forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and display our financial. Hopefully that will display, guys. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. We'll give it, okay, perfect. All right, so let's walk through the news here. Okay, so still a fair number of news events, earnings, I should say, on the docket today. We have American Airlines, we have T-Mobile, and I guess those are the headliners. And then we have some news that could impact the markets. U.S. existing home sales. We also have some White House press briefing that always has a potential of impacting the markets here today at 1 p.m. And then we have the TIPS bond report coming in at 1 p.m. Okay, so not all that much. I would say that 10 a.m. Eastern is probably the biggest, the U.S. existing home sales, but we're always at the mercy of some sort of tweet or announcement that's made in any sort of press briefing that could impact the markets here at 1 p.m. Eastern. Okay. All right. So now that we've gotten through both the risk disclosure, now we've gotten through the risk disclosure as well as the news, we'll go ahead and take a peek here at the markets and see what context we can drive or pull away from the markets that kind of support us in our understanding of them. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start off with the market that we normally start off with, and that is the gold. Okay. And we're going to pause here and make sure that everybody can see my screen as I adjust my screen here. Okay. So let's see. We got a nice little push late. I was kind of looking for that push a lot earlier than that, but it is what it is. Okay. So here we are looking at the daily chart. Okay. So we had a couple of days, of bearish price action. Okay. Yeah, it was. There was a good pre-market trade here in gold. Okay. So again, we had a couple of days of bearish price action. It appears that we found we came down to a level of support here around 4,040, and now we have a candle that is looking to maybe break above the most recent candle to the upside. Okay, so market again, maybe there was some beginning talk about the possibility of maybe gold moving lower. But now we have, kind of a bullish candle here that maybe is saying that maybe this is just just a small pullback for maybe momentum for another rally higher. Okay, so let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, and see what we can see from this. Okay, so we have a little bit of I would say a little bit of a rounding bottom here. It looks like, right, up against an area where we would expect. Right, it's funny how this all works out. Right, these markets just don't randomly turn in any location. Right, we have markets that come down to an area where we would expect to be supportive, and sure enough, you're looking at the 4-hour chart. You can see what was resistant has now become supportive right around this 4,070 level. So price came down to this level and reversed away from it. And now we're in some sort of maybe the beginnings of some swing to the upside. Okay. Taking a look at the 30-minute chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we're starting to make that kind of staircase that we always talk about when we're talking about we're beginnings of some sort of trend here. Okay. So you can see that I already have what's this? I was kind of looking at this during Asia, right? I was kind of looking for an opportunity to take this market long, but could not wait for this market to take off. And as soon as I move off to bed, a market moves in our direction here. Okay. Strong rejection, yes, up at this 4160 level, but nonetheless, it did provide us here during Asia a nice move here to the upside, right? Got to the 100% extension before it pulled back again to the initial balance high to offer us yet another opportunity to the upside. Okay, so Asia, I would say, is appears to be on the bullish side of the market. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at London. London also appears to have extended the market higher as well, or is in the beginnings of extending the market higher. We're up at the 50% extension. We got a nice 50-minute candle or 30-minute candle that's closed above the initial balance range. So indications right now appear that the market is somewhat bullish. Now we do have this area above this 4170 level. We've already got some indication that maybe there are some sellers present in this area, but they haven't been able to really break any serious structure here to the downside. So both Asia and London are indicating that maybe we are seeing some maybe some additional upside opportunities in this market. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here quickly and take a look and see kind of where the price is in relation. And you can see that price is well above our value range from yesterday. You can see again, these areas repeat themselves, right? Again, we see that price left this area, and what did it do? Well, it came back to retest the conviction of these folks, and off it went. Okay, so we could do a lot worse in focusing our attention in some of these levels to support our trading. Okay, so let's take one peek at the developing initial balance range for the current session. Okay, so we're already kind of a half hour into this, and so you can see here that we have a developing rather, I said maybe above average a range here, initial balance range. So again, the question becomes now, as we an area that we want to maybe take a look at or keep an eye on, right, is this area right here. I'm going to go ahead and mark this as maybe a potential resistance area. I'm going to take a quick look at the average daily range. So we still have some range left remaining, okay, to get to in order to, but look where the average daily range is kind of hovering here, right? It's hovering right at the top of this range. I don't know if that's by accident, but we have some confluence there that this 4170 level, although we are, a fair amount of distance away from it, could be a level that could cause maybe price to reverse. Okay, but potentially this is an area, if we're targeting longs, this would be a logical target for a long. Okay, all right, let's move on to the crude oil market. Okay, crude oil market also is showing some signs of some strength here. Okay, so we'll take a look at the daily chart for first, just to kind of, again, I don't know if this is a result of some sort of rollover or whether this is intentional here, right? But we do see a gap. Now, when we see a gap in a direction, that is an indication that there is a fair amount of interest in that direction. Okay. Now, often these gaps get filled. Now, whether this gap is going to get filled today, I don't know. But what I do know is that price has, there was so much pent up demand in this market that we pretty much opened at 60. Okay. Now the question again is, and the thing I'm going to be looking at is, they sanctioned oil. Okay. So that's probably what's translated in this jump in price. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, again, you can see that with all the news around sanctioning Russian oil, that's caused, I guess, a concern about the supply of oil. All right. And that, as a result, has caused a little bit of a rally. Okay. So looking at this, you can see that the market has reacted I don't know how you want to look at it, probably unfavorably, right? Because we're paying more. This will probably end up in causing us to pay more at the gas pump. But here we are. You can see that, that created a little bit of a leg here to the upside in this market. Now, I'm going to say that this 63 level is going to be an interesting level for us, right? This is going to be an area of are the sellers are going to come back in this market? Or are we going to continue to get news about maybe the concern about supply of oil? Okay, so this 63 level is going to be an important level for us to continue to monitor. Taking a look at the 30-minute chart, again, we start to seeing some staircasing of this market to the upside. Okay, so a lot of overnight bulls in this market. We're going to go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile here. We're going to take a look at the start of the yesterday's session, drag that to the close, and surprise, surprise, to know that we are well above value. Okay. So I would expect this, again, this level here down below is going to be an area of support. Chances are we're not going to get to that level today. Okay. But we could look at some other areas, right, in the proximity that could offer us a location for maybe a continued move to the upside. This area right around 60.50 seems like a logical area for bulls to be hanging around, right? If they're going to look for some balance, well, the last balance area that we have here is around this 60.87 level. Okay. All right. Let's take a look quickly through the initial balance ranges. We're going to go ahead and start through the Asia session. Okay. Asia session is indicating some bullish behavior, at least to 400% extension. Okay. In the tail end or middle of the Asia session. London also provided an extension here to the upside. Okay. A lot of bulls in the market at the moment. Okay. So I'm assuming that if I look at my ADR, we're probably well above it. Okay. Here we are, well above it. Average daily range. Okay. So again, the top of the average daily range could serve as an area of support, right? So again, if we're looking for an area to maybe support a trade, we can take a look at the break of that ADR high. All right, and that will serve as an area right here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this little block of red here around 60.82. Okay, again, the same area that I drew in, right? The same area I drew in as demand could be an area that we can use as maybe a potential support going forward. I understand that we are well above this now. Okay. But I'm looking at maybe in the future where this could provide us a support. Now, if we do manage to close above here, right, and we're going to go ahead and turn our attention to the current session because the market has already opened. We're going to go ahead and turn this to the current session. All right. So taking a look at this, you can see that we have a relatively wide initial balance range, right? Yeah. These are all Lazy Lions locations, Aslan. This location down below. Now, the question is, does it come down to this level? I don't know. Do we get a little bit of a retracement given the fact that we've gotten all this such a large push in this market? We'll have to wait and see. Okay. But one thing that I do know, I don't necessarily want to participate in a long right at the highs, right? I'm always looking for something that would give me an indication, right? A little bit of a retrace and then another kind of an indication that the bulls are still around before I'm willing to participate. Right now, the only indication I'm getting is that sellers are beginning to step into this market. That's the indication I'm getting, right? We're still working through a quite a bit of volume to the upside, but you can see that there is still some sellers present in this market. So heading into the market, I would have to say that the market, it does appear to be bullish. Again, I'm going to remain patient and disciplined and wait for an area where I can participate in this market to the upside. I'm going to go ahead and open up my VWAP. That's going to be a logical location. I'm going to open up my 9 EMA. Okay, that's going to be another logical location. So these are all a couple of logical locations where I could potentially participate in the market to the upside. All right. Okay. So before I move on to the equity markets, again, I'm going to put on my little equity hat here, or not equity hat, but portal hat and marketing hat, and say that I'd encourage you guys to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, make a comment or two on how this analysis is supporting you in your trading. Okay. Yeah, do what you can, pay your tax. That's all I'm asking is to hit, give me a couple of likes, give me a couple of comments as I try to continue to build this portal. And as I continue to drive my subscribers up to the 1,000 level, so I can get garner some additional support in promoting this channel to others via YouTube. Okay. All right. So that looks like generated at least one other. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and Marcelo, good morning. We're going to go ahead and move on to the NQ here. All right. Take a look at what the NQ is providing or saying to us. So we'll go ahead and remove some of our drawings. We'll start off with the daily chart here. And again, nothing super exciting other than it appears that we are in some sort of range, right? I don't know if this is kind of a topping pattern, but do you remember that we've been having discussions about, feeling that we're still at the mercy of the bears? Well, here it is. This is kind of what I was kind of thinking of, right? We had this bearish candle. Do you think that the tariff news are going to? Do you think tariff news are going away? Do you think that there's not more news that's coming that could cause the market to give maybe some adverse news on tariffs? Well, that's what the market is telling us. They're not convinced that we're out of the woods with respect to tariff news. We have not been able to get above this 25,400 level. If anything, we're in the beginning stages of maybe a topping pattern of some sort. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we're going to go ahead and turn off the initial balance range and just kind of look at this. Okay, so there's our not quite the cleanest topping pattern here, but you can see that this series of candles that were generated as a result of the tariff news, and we have really been meandering inside that area, right? When we meander inside that area, it tells me that these set of candles or these sellers are still very much present in this market. They just are waiting for a catalyst. They're waiting for some sort of catalyst to provide them the support for that to take place. Right now, I'm not really convinced that the bulls have much control of this market right now. Okay. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. All right, 30-minute chart. We're going to do our normal fixed range volume profile analysis here. We'll see. It looks like, at least from my initial glance, that the bears are still very much in control of this market here. All right, so we're going to start with the open of the Wednesday session here. Drag that across to the close of the session right about here. Okay, and you can see we don't have control, we have range, right? The next thing that I love to see when I'm looking for opportunities in the market is to be in a consolidation range. I'm joking, I'm being facetious, guys. Okay, this is not a range that I'd like to be a part of. Price is inside value from yesterday's price range. What is that an indication of? That we could expect the same headed into the session. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at what the initial balance, what the various markets were able to do with this market. We'll start off with Asia. Where's Asia? Asia was, I guess, neutral, right? We created a little bit of a double top at the 50% extension. And then London said, I'm not really feeling this upside move. Okay. And they drove the market lower. Okay. And they've actually extended it all the way down to the 200% extension. Now, is this a logical area where we may get maybe a little bit of reversal in price? Often the 200% extension offers us some sort of reversal in price. But what am I going to do? Well, I need more evidence. I'm not interested in participating in a long if it cannot manage to get above the 9 EMA, or it cannot manage to get above the VWAP. If it can't get above either of those, I'm not really interested in a long. Okay. Right. I'm not interested. Yeah. It was quite a nice short trade, right? This is a classic IB extension to the downside. It has all the ingredients of what we look for. Nice push outside the initial balance range, a touch of the initial balance range on the low end, and off we go. These are the kinds of markets that we look for. And break a channel, right? Has all the ingredients of a nice bear side trade that we talk about in the coaching. Okay, let's go ahead now and take a look at the ES here. Okay, and I guess I'm trying to make sure that I respect those who are looking at this opening range trade. in the markets. All right. So similar story here, guys. Okay. We see that the market is in some sort of range. We see that the market is inside, maybe creating some sort of consolidation pattern of some sort. Again, the 6,800 level does appear to be creating some sort of level of resistance, okay, or supply, however, whatever term you want to use. It does appear that maybe this 6,800 level is not going to be an easy level, or at least not giving us the indication that it's going to be an easy level to get above. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark this off as red. Okay, right now price is hovering right around the 9 EMA. With wicks on both ends, okay, indicating that there is a little bit of indecision up at these levels. Taking a look at the 4-hour chart again, we had a relatively strong push to the downside that broke the 9 EMA to the downside, and now we're hovering below it. Okay, so as long as we're hovering below it, okay, then my view is that maybe there's more continuation move to the downside. Okay. If I'm going, and moreover, we have the candle, not sure, the 9 EMA is beginning to slope in the other direction. Okay. So if I'm going to be a bull in this market, and again, I am in range, then I need to see evidence of it. Okay. So I need more evidence of that. All right. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart right now. Again, you can see that the market has been ranging of late. Okay, in the overnight. If I open up my fixed range volume profile, you can see that market has been in some sort of range inside balance here. Just going to go ahead and draw that just to confirm this with you guys. Okay, right there. Okay, inside balance, inside range. So again, headed into the session, what can I expect? More range behavior, right? If anything, I'm going to be focusing my attention on 67.60 on the top side and 67.12 on the bottom side. Notice how these levels, provided areas for reversal in price. If I'm in range, I'm going to focus on edges, right? Edges of value, right? To offer me maybe reversal locations. All right. These are lazy lion locations, as Aslan has said earlier. Okay. All right. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and open up the initial balance here. We're going to go ahead and compare what the initial balance ranges have done across the various markets here. Okay. So Asia, again, managed to bring the market higher and stalled, created a double top and reversed. London has come in and basically offered on an extension. Did not offer the same level of extension that we got on the NASDAQ, but we got an extension nonetheless. Okay. Now, if we are bullish, then we need to see bullish price action. So until I see a break of this channel to the upside, and I see more evidence that maybe we are moving into a bullish environment, like a pricing closing above the my 9 EMA, price closing above my VWAP, price closing back inside the initial balance range. I need those kinds of events in order to convince me that I should maybe look at this market for some bullish opportunities. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the last market with about 5 minutes to go here, guys. Had some technical issues with my computer. Let's go ahead and take a look. Again, the Dow is offering us the same kind of look and feel that we've gotten. Again, there's that dreaded double topping pattern here, right? One top, two top, maybe the beginnings of some sort of M pattern, okay, in the Dow, okay. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we are beginning to maybe potentially staircase our way down, okay. Price is below our 9 EMA, below I think technically our VWAP, okay. So we're beginning to develop some structure that possibly could lead us lower, okay. If we are going to turn this market to the upside, well, I need to see again price to get above some of the indicators that I care about. 9 EMA, VWAP, okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the 30-minute chart. We'll do a little bit of comparison here. Again, looks very much like it's been ranging of late here. Okay, so if I do the fixed range volume profile from the start of the session to the close of the session here, and you can see that the market has been in some sort of range. Oh, actually we're below. Okay, so we're below the market. Okay, so Dow is maybe indicating to us that maybe we are in some sort of downside. Now, The longer we stay in this consolidation range without making a newer low is giving us maybe a little bit more evidence that the market is maybe building up some support to take it higher, right? We don't want to stay in this kind of range after we had a solid move to the downside. The longer we stay in this range without making a new low is giving us evidence that maybe the market is working its way to move higher. Okay. We'll take a peek here at the initial balance range across the various markets. We'll start off with the Asia market. Okay. Asia market, again, similar kind of thing, although the sell-off was not as strong, right? We got to the 50% extension, came back to the middle of the range and found some buyers. Still very much in range. London, similar. Okay. Similar, right? London also inside the range. So of all the various equity markets, we seem to be even in more range than either the NASDAQ or the ES. Okay. So I would say, excuse me, I would say across all the markets here, equity seems to be the more range bound of the markets. All right. So let's take one peek here at the Dow, at the gold. Gold appears to be looking to head higher. Okay. We're breaking above the, I think this is a London range, breaking above the London extension. Okay. That's looking bullish. CL, with all the geopolitical news and information about supply, continues to show signs of bullish behavior, but it would not surprise me in the least if we got a little bit of a pullback, given all the moves that we've gotten to the upside. And then I would say across all the equity markets, okay, equity markets appear to be in some sort of range. I would say maybe range kind of price action. So we have to be careful as to, the extent of whatever move we decide to be a part of. Okay. And go from there. So NQ, ES, right, all look kind of range bound to me. I think maybe there is some evidence that maybe we are in the beginnings of maybe a bullish move. Okay. If we can get price above the 90 MA, above the VWAP, then there's a possibility of that. Okay. The Dow similar. Okay. Kind of building up some demand here, possibly here at the lows at 46,650. The longer we stay in this level without making a new low could cause the market to maybe repair some of what they were able to do earlier. Okay. So again, guys, just managed to get a hair under the market here, the start of the market here. So I'm going to continue to watch the gold market here, just to stay away from any sort of news event that could be in the crude oil market. I think crude oil market might be very sensitive to news today. So I'm going to be focusing again in my my gold here and see what opportunities gold provides me. All right. So we're going to go ahead and look at that. Let's see if I can see day session. Go ahead. 30-minute chart. We'll say 15. Okay. Yes, it was compact, precise review. Yes, managed to get that under 30 minutes. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think that's pretty much it for me. I'm going to be, again, watching the gold market play out here. I'm going to be kind of identifying some lazy lion levels where I would like to potentially participate in this market. And as we close this session, as we close all sessions, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. Have an excellent day trading, guys, and we'll talk again soon.